Welcome to today's episode of The Growth Zone. I am Christian Bartsch. What is the core benefit of listening to this show? Business leaders in corporate and privately held companies gain insights into trends and strategies that provide them with a competitive advantage in the marketplace. Each episode focuses on areas such as marketing, sales, innovation, or funding that is absolutely critical to the growth of companies, whether they are startups or corporate global players. Where management needs to juggle the challenges of market entries or knowing how to navigate the uncertainty of disruptive developments, mind feeding is where clarity evolves and helps solving organizational challenges. For those who listen to the entire episode, I have a special surprise gift. I'm also working on some great guests that are industry leaders in management, innovation, and marketing. And we will be talking in the future much more about the important trends that are affecting the way we manage our companies in the demand to being sustainable, more environmentally and socially friendly, and becoming more empathic leaders. So, let's get started on today's topic. Welcome back to our new episode on neural networks in online marketing. Now, what are neural networks? Neural networks are a combination of artificial intelligence, smart computing, edge computing. So it's actually software and hardware. Hardware design and as well software, cloud-based, using artificial intelligence and other kind of combination of hardware and software platforms that allow us to maximize our computing, processing, learning capabilities of our artificial intelligence. And it's not just about learning, it's about taking rapid decisions based on information that is being provided to the AI engine. And thereby the AI engine being able to decide what's the best reaction to the current situation. Now, neural networks, AI, autopilot systems, and so on are being used by companies like Tesla and other products. But when you've ever tried driving a Tesla, you will notice there's a big difference. When you test drive another company's vehicle, you will see there's quite a difference to it. And the trick behind that is how they use the neural networks to learn and to develop the ability to react and decide and assist us humans in driving, navigating, and trying to avoid accidents. Now, looking at online marketing, well, online marketing is as well some kind of vehicle. And this vehicle wants to, of course, get people to consume our content, to buy our products, and eventually get others to buy our products and services. So, why do we need more than just some simple AI? The thing is, we are living in a constantly changing world, and marketing is rapidly evolving. There was a time when people were saying, "Oh, you need to have all sorts of videos and audios, and you have to post stuff on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram. Then you have to send out pictures to Snap, this and there and everything." And people are so busy, but they're not generating revenue. And if you're in online marketing, you know the key problem. They're everywhere, but not really focusing properly on getting the job done properly. And then they, unfortunately, listen to a lot of people who are telling them totally confusing stuff. And in the end, they are totally frustrated because they've used up the budget and haven't got realistic budget ideas. Because people are telling them, oh, you can generate that revenue without spending any money. Well, that's not quite the real truth about it, because they're trying to do tricks and manipulate people. Now, you and I know that nowadays that's not the smartest way of doing business, because it's short term. It's generating a quick revenue, and then later on the buyer will not buy a second time. Yeah? It's like trying to teach your cat not to walk over your keyboard. Yeah? It won't work. The only solution is trying to get it to stop scratching your sofa and doing other crazy stuff. But it doesn't work. And with neural networks, we're trying to do something similar, but in a smarter way. So we hope we can teach our systems to be smarter and help us, instead of just being something that just sometimes gets in your way. Of course, the thing knows how to be smart and be sweet, but sometimes it can be quite a havoc in our lives. And with advertising, it's the same thing. You have so much stuff going on, like click fraud and that, bots that attack your ads and that. You've got people who comment negative stuff on your posts, or people who flag your videos as spam and that kind of stuff. And that hits you all the time. It's like the catwalk over the keyboard. Now, if we are smart enough and we get our online marketing system to learn when people are obviously trying to sabotage us, we can avoid this kind of people, either by changing our audience settings and bypassing these negative people, because they're just costing us money and costing us sales, because people think, oh, it's really that bad, that product, when these people who comment never bought our product and wouldn't even buy it and couldn't even afford it. But they are still hurting our revenue, our business, without actually being a real customer. And this is where artificial intelligence can really help us. Now, you might think, what do I do now? Okay, but how do I get started? There are more and more new SaaS-based products, so they're on the cloud, that you can buy or rent, and you can use that. And they already have artificial intelligence built in and help you improve. Now, there are, of course, many traditional companies who we all know the names on the stock market and everywhere. But the thing is, you have to look towards new companies that are the new kids on the block and offering new modern approaches. And the same thing if you, for instance, you've got online courses. You're trying to sell your online courses. The thing is, who are you trying to sell it to? Is it a basic product, or are you trying to train somebody to advance in their career at work? Or is it a training for people who want to become self-employed, start a business, have a better marketing? Are you addressing marketing people who want to be more successful and help their clients generate more revenue in order to generate themselves as well more revenue? It always depends very much. And each system with its own AI will be capable of learning these special things about your business. That's the great thing about it. You can have a very smart product, and that product will eventually learn through AI and machine learning what is relevant to your business. Now, what should I keep in mind if I'm trying to use that kind of product? Well, there are downsides to AI, neural networks, and so on, and especially the so-called bias. Learning bias means that a system might mislead you and mislead itself as well, because it might decide, based on information it's gathering, that certain people are not good for us. When in fact, actually, we only had maybe 5 people who were negative on purpose, when actually the next 5 people of the same character are actually not negative. They're great buyers. It's just that the other people are competitors maybe, and on purpose damaging us. So the AI would then not want the other 5 to buy, when in fact they're actually real buyers and positive people and willing to buy and will tell others to buy our products more because they're, of course, unhappy and fascinated. Where a fake profile can mislead us, and that's the key thing. That's bias. It can generate bias by sales information, credit information, and that. And that's as well, of course, something that people are now more and more fearful, especially about ESG, a topic that I've written a book about. And the biggest problem with ESG, especially as well with online marketing, is that when we're trying to decide who we want to have in our audience, we'll eventually using as well information based on credit lines, credit habits, and more ESG factors as well, because ESG in the long term is going to affect not only small to large companies, but as well consumers. Because now, of course, the information is there for companies, but for buyers, the information is there as well. It just needs to be translated into the new context of ESG. As a simple example. So, if you are buying, not buying, let's say you own a car, a truck, yeah? This truck is 20 years old, uses a lot of petrol, is very dirty, and each time you get a vehicle test, there's lots of stuff that has to be repaired, and the rates of your exhaust are not good and that, but you still more or less pass the minimum requirements. ESG would consider you being not very nice because somebody else who has an electric car doesn't have any exhaust. So, and especially if you're not driving a hybrid, which I wouldn't recommend. If you're driving a pure electric vehicle, whether it's a Tesla or a Lucid or other kind of products, then you have no exhaust. Whatever you do, you cannot buy from these brands a car that has exhaust. No CO2 going out of the car because it doesn't burn fuel. You have to charge the battery up. And that's where it puts you in a disadvantage. Now, of course, when you look at ESG, especially with companies like Tesla and Exxon and so on, at the moment, ESG is a bit confused to a certain degree because information is messed up. And yeah, Tesla is building batteries, which is, of course, on the other hand, a negative impact on ESG. Then look at Exxon. They are trying to move to new businesses because they are smart guys too. They know that eventually one day they won't be able to sell any more oil or petrol and so on, because there'll be new kinds of fuels existing, whether it's electricity or H2, hydrogen and that. They're trying to change. So they are becoming greener to a certain extent. And that generates in both companies wrong information about what's actually happening, the output. Now, look at that. How can it affect our online marketing and online sales? If ESG then starts feeding into our neural networks, into our AI, it starts confusing the systems. So we need to understand how to avoid ESG messing up our business, messing up our online marketing, and in particular, if we're doing this for other companies, how to avoid this kind of information messing up our clients' revenue. Because the thing is, in certain businesses, you need to find out if the buyer is going to pay your invoices. And many companies have got a database or accessing databases to evaluate if somebody, either by address or age or income or other kind of things, might not pay. Because let's say you have an online campaign for roofing. If somebody orders a roof and then doesn't pay for the roof, or just pays the installment and then later on complains all the time, claims the roof has been badly delivered and set up, then you have a problem because they won't pay. Even if the roof is really perfect and there's nothing an issue, but they're just complaining to avoid next payment, then you have a problem. But your AI will learn all these things if you are able to feed the entire experience to the AI. So not only the moment of the person clicking, looking at content, consuming content, looking videos and so on, buying the product, but actually as well the entire process until the product is delivered and the entire customer service timeline has been completed, so that you really know how is it, which clients are the best clients in buying, and then try to get more of those buyers. Of course, there's always a certain limit what you can get in the market, and limit as well on your budget that you can have. Nevertheless, that's when neural networks can help you. It allows you to process all this information at a fast pace, because it's not only what's happening on your websites, on your blogs, on your portals, but as well what's happening behind the online world. It's the offline world. That's what has to be fed as well into the neural networks. And that's what stuff happening. And as your business grows, or your client has a big business, medium-sized business, there's so much information. And you have to gradually build the models that the system can learn. Because then, if you have the right combination, you can drive sales crazy high. But for that, you have to know as well how to adapt your online marketing to attract the right buyers. So let's discuss in the next few episodes more about all these different smart technologies, because we have to look at another aspect as well of marketing, online sales, artificial intelligence, and so on. It's not just about the negative people who are trying to sabotage us, or the positive people who are trying to help us. It's about trying to find out how we can protect not only those actions that we're doing to get sales, but as well ensuring that we generate more sales from our existing client base, building that trust, securing that trust, protecting that trust, and generating recurring revenue, because that's the real true goal in your business. Thank you for listening.
I hope you enjoyed today's edition of the Growth Zone show with Christian Bartsch. Thank you for listening. Please leave a review or rating here on iTunes or on podchaser.com. If you found the content helpful, then share it on social media, please. I would like to invite you to follow our show so that you don't miss the upcoming interviews with leaders in the market. Simply visit the website meetchrisbartsch.com. I will be adding the link into the description of this episode so that you just need to click on that link. On my website, you will also find the links to free templates. If you're looking for the books I have published on marketing, innovative technology, and sustainable business strategies, just simply click on publication to find my book list. The world is constantly changing in response to trends and events. As a business leader, you need to bypass the sandbanks that can hurt your performance. For those of you who are signing up to follow the show, I have reserved a few copies of my ultimate guide on content marketing and an ESG compliant cheat sheet. This is the strategy that got me top corporate clients like McDonald's, Linde, Hewlett-Packard, Deutsche Bank, Volvo, and many others. That strategy has been working for over 10 years and also got me contacts with police, transport authorities, military, and several universities, and even leading research institutes. For sure, it also worked wonders, as it got me many small, medium-sized enterprises and international clients around the world. The link to sign up to our free broadcasting service and the guide is at meetchrisbartsch.com. That will give you access to the most recent versions of my ultimate guide on content marketing. You can follow me on Twitter by using the Twitter handle capbarge. It's spelled CAPBARTSCH. Yes, that is CAP barge, or spelled Charlie Alpha Papa Bravo Alpha Romeo Tango Sierra Charlie Hotel.